Do you know how many followers I have? 23 million. That's 23 million people who will watch me destroy you if you don't dismiss this. Those words echo through Providence Municipal Court. The woman who spoke them stands in front of Judge Frank Caprio. Her name is Sienna Hartwell. She's 23 years old. Her blonde hair is perfectly styled. Her nails are done in designer polish that costs $60 per finger. She wears a white Prada blazer. Her Hermes bag sits on the defense table. It costs more than most people's cars. On her wrist is a rose gold Cartier watch. It catches the light every time she moves her hand. But here's what makes this different. Sienna isn't just rich. Her father is Governor Richard Hartwell, and she knows it. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, no matter who their parents are, you'll want to see what happens next. Judge Caprio sits at his bench. He's 78 years old. He's been a judge for decades. He's seen it all. Rich people, poor people, humble people, arrogant people. But something about this case makes him lean forward. His reading glasses sit on his nose. The case file is open in front of him. The bailiff's voice cuts through the courtroom. Case number 2025, TR 94502. The State versus Sienna Hartwell. Multiple charges including assault, disturbing the peace, and interference with a public servant. People fill the courtroom. They sit in the wooden benches. Some lean against the back wall. Word got out about this case. A governor's daughter, attacking a homeless veteran, recording it for social media. The local news sent reporters. Their cameras wait outside. Inside, phones are not allowed. But everyone wants to see this. Judge Caprio looks at the victim's side. A man sits there. His name is Vincent Cole. He's 57 years old. His hair is gray. His face is weathered. Deep lines mark his forehead. His hands rest on his knees. They shake slightly. Not from fear. From something else. Something medical. He wears a donated suit. It's too big for him. The shoulders sag. But it's clean. He made an effort. Vincent served in the United States Marine Corps for 12 years. 2 tours in Iraq. 1 in Afghanistan. He came home different. The things he saw changed him. The sounds never left his head. The explosions. The screams. The silence after. He tried to adjust. He really did. But the nightmares won. The anxiety took over. He couldn't hold a job. Couldn't stay in one place. The VA gave him appointments 6 months out. By then, he was living under a bridge on Bassett Street. That's where Sienna found him 3 weeks ago. Judge Caprio nods to Vincent. Mr. Cole, thank you for being here today. I know this isn't easy. Vincent nods. He doesn't speak. His lawyer, a public defender named Sarah Chun, puts a hand on his shoulder. She's young, fresh out of law school. This is her biggest case. Her hands grip her notepad. Her knuckles are white. Miss Hartwell, Judge Caprio says. He looks at Sienna. His voice is calm. Professional. Do you understand the charges against you? Sienna rolls her eyes. Actually rolls them. In a courtroom. In front of a judge. I understand that this is a waste of everyone's time. Especially mine. A woman in the gallery gasps. A man shakes his head. The bailiff, Officer Marcus Rivera, shifts his weight. His hand moves closer to his belt. Just in case. Sienna's lawyer, a man named Gerald Hutchins, touches her arm. He's 60 years old. Gray suit. Expensive shoes. He's worked for the Hartwell family for 20 years. He's gotten Sienna out of trouble before. 3 DUIs. 2 assault charges. A vandalism case. All dismissed. All buried. He whispers something to her. She waves him away. Judge Caprio removes his glasses. He cleans them with a cloth. It's something he does when he needs a moment. When he needs to think. He puts them back on. Ms. Hartwell, this court treats everyone with respect. I expect the same in return. Do you understand? Sienna examines her nails. Sure. Whatever. Can we just do this? I have a yacht party at 4. The courtroom goes quiet. You can hear the air conditioning hum. You can hear someone shift in their seat. The clock on the wall ticks. Each second feels long. Judge Caprio writes something down. He doesn't look up. Let's review the charges. Ms. Chun, please present your case. Sarah stands. Her legs feel weak, but her voice is strong. Your Honor, on November 18th at approximately 2:15 p.m., my client, Vincent Cole, was sitting on the sidewalk near the intersection of Bassett Street and Richmond. He had a cardboard sign. It said, "Homeless Veteran. Anything helps. God bless." He had a small cup for donations. He wasn't bothering anyone. He was just sitting there. Sarah pulls out a tablet. I have security footage from the corner store. May I present it to the court? Judge Caprio nods. The clerk sets up the screen. The video plays. It's black and white. Grainy, but clear enough. The footage shows Vincent sitting against a brick wall. His sign is propped next to him. A few people walk by. Some drop coins in his cup. Some ignore him. He never moves. Never calls out. Just sits there quietly. Then Sienna enters the frame. She's with two friends. All three hold their phones. They're recording. Laughing. One friend points at Vincent. They move closer. Sarah pauses the video. At this point, Your Honor, the defendant approaches my client. Watch what happens next. The video plays. Sienna stands over Vincent. Her phone is extended. Recording. Her mouth moves. The security footage has no sound, but you can see Vincent look up. Confused. He shakes his head. He waves his hand. No thank you. Leave me alone. Sienna's foot comes up. She kicks his cup. Coins scatter across the sidewalk. Vincent reaches for them. His hands scramble. Those coins mean food, mean survival. That's when Sienna kicks him. Her designer boot connects with his shoulder. Vincent falls over. His sign crumples under him. He curls up, protective, like he's been here before. In a war zone, under attack. The courtroom watches in silence. Someone in the back row stands up. The bailiff gives them a look. They sit back down. But it's not over. The video shows Sienna laughing. She poses, makes peace signs with her fingers. Her friends record it all. Then they walk away. Just leave him there on the ground. The video ends. The screen goes black. The courtroom stays quiet. Judge Caprio's jaw is tight. His hands are flat on his desk. Sarah continues. Your Honor, the defendant didn't just assault my client. She posted it online. On TikTok. On Instagram. On Twitter. She captioned it, quote, when the trash tries to ruin your aesthetic. Not today, homeless man. Not today. End quote. She added hashtags. Hashtags like clear the streets and rich girl problems and no beggars. The video got 8 million views in 2 days. Sarah hands papers to the clerk. They go to the judge. These are printouts of the social media posts. Comments from her followers. Most of them praised her. Called my client disgusting. Said he deserved it. Some comments threatened him. Said they'd find him and do worse. Judge Caprio reads through the pages. His eyebrows rise. His mouth becomes a line. Ms. Hartwell, is this accurate? Did you post this video? Sienna shrugs. It's my content. I can post what I want. Freedom of speech or whatever. Gerald touches her arm again. Harder this time. Sienna, please. What? She turns to him. Her voice is loud. Sharp. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I did something wrong. He was ruining my video. We were doing a day in the city challenge. He was in the shot, looking all pathetic. I asked him to move. He refused. So I moved him. A man in the third row stands up. He's wearing a Vietnam veteran's cap. His face is red. You kicked a Marine. A man who served his country. The bailiff moves forward. Sir, please sit down. The veteran points at Sienna. She should be ashamed. We fought for people like her. And this is how. Sir. Judge Caprio's voice is firm but kind. I understand your feelings. But please sit down. Let me handle this. The veteran sits. His hands shake. His wife holds his arm. Judge Caprio looks at Sienna. Ms. Hartwell, do you understand that Mr. Cole served in the military? That he fought for this country? Sienna waves her hand. Yes, so? That was his choice. Nobody forced him. And honestly, if he can't even get his life together after, maybe he wasn't that good at his job. The courtroom explodes. Voices rise. People shout. The bailiff steps forward. Order. Order in the court. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel. 3 times. Hard. The sound echoes. Everyone will be quiet or I will clear this courtroom. Silence falls. But the anger stays. You can feel it, like electricity in the air. Vincent sits perfectly still. A tear runs down his cheek. He doesn't wipe it away. Sarah puts her arm around him. She whispers something. He nods. Judge Caprio takes a deep breath. Continue, Ms. Chun. Sarah stands again. Your Honor, after the assault, Mr. Cole called 911. The police arrived. Officer Jennifer Walsh responded. She's here to testify. A police officer stands from the front row. She's 35 years old, 13 years on the force. She approaches the witness stand. The clerk swears her in. Officer Walsh, Sarah says, can you describe what you found when you arrived? Officer Walsh nods. I responded to a call at 2:23 p.m. When I arrived, I found Mr. Cole on the ground. He was holding his shoulder. His belongings were scattered. His sign was torn. He was crying. Not from pain, I don't think. From something else. Like his spirit was broken. Officer Walsh pulls out her notepad. I asked him what happened. He told me a young woman kicked him. Recorded it. He gave me a description. Blonde hair. Expensive clothes. Said she was with 2 friends. All of them had their phones out. What did you do next? Sarah asks. I checked social media, Officer Walsh says. It took me maybe 10 minutes. The video was everywhere. I recognized the location. Matched the timestamp. I identified the defendant as Sienna Hartwell. I knew the name. Everyone in Providence knows the name. Officer Walsh looks at Sienna. I went to her residence. A penthouse apartment downtown. Value estimated at $6 million. I knocked on the door. She answered. I told her why I was there. I asked if she would come to the station to discuss the incident. What was her response? Sarah asks. Officer Walsh's jaw tightens. She laughed. She said, quote, are you serious right now? Do you know who my father is? You're going to lose your job for this. End quote. Then she tried to close the door in my face. What happened then? I informed her that I had probable cause to arrest her. I advised her of her rights. She refused to comply. She called her father. Put him on speakerphone. Governor Hartwell told me I was making a mistake. Said I should consult with my chief. Said there would be consequences. Officer Walsh straightens her shoulders. I told the governor respectfully that I was doing my job. I arrested Ms. Hartwell for assault and battery. I transported her to the station. She was processed and released on personal recognizance within 2 hours. Sarah nods. Thank you, officer. One more question. Did Ms. Hartwell show any remorse during the arrest or processing? Officer Walsh shakes her head. No. She posted about it from a police station. On her Instagram story. She took a selfie in the holding cell. Caption said, quote, when your good deed goes wrong but you're still fabulous. End quote. She made it look like she was the victim. The courtroom murmurs. Judge Caprio writes more notes. Pages and pages of notes. Sarah sits down. Gerald stands up. He looks tired. Like he knows this is bad. Like he wants to be anywhere else. Your Honor, Gerald says, my client is young. She made a mistake. She didn't understand. Sienna cuts him off. I didn't make a mistake. I did what I had to do. That man was in my way. This is America. I have rights. Gerald closes his eyes. Sienna, please stop talking. No. Sienna stands up. She faces the judge. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people acting like homeless people are victims. They're not. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They want handouts. They want people like me, people who actually contribute to society, to feel bad for them. Well, I don't. She points at Vincent. Look at him. He's sitting there like a sad puppy, playing the victim card. He wants sympathy. He wants money. He wants everyone to feel sorry for him because he was in the military. But you know what? Lots of people serve. Lots of people have hard times. They don't end up on the street begging. Vincent's head drops. His shoulders shake. Sarah puts both arms around him. Sienna keeps going. And you want to know the truth? The real truth? That video helped my brand. I gained 400,000 followers in 3 days. 400,000. Brands are reaching out. I'm getting sponsorship deals. One video. One stupid homeless guy. And my career is taking off. She leans on the defense table. So yeah, I kicked him. Yeah, I posted it. And I'd do it again. Because in this world, you need to go viral. You need content. And sometimes, content finds you on a street corner. 10 seconds pass. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. Judge Caprio stares at Sienna. His face is unreadable. But his eyes tell a story. Then the courtroom erupts. People stand up. Shouts fill the room. The bailiff moves to the center. Sit down. Everyone sit down now. Judge Caprio doesn't use his gavel. He stands up. All 6 feet of him. His 78 years of life. His decades of wisdom. He stands there. Silent. Waiting. The room goes quiet. Everyone sits. Because when Judge Frank Caprio stands, you listen. He looks at Sienna for a long time. Then he speaks. His voice is quiet, controlled, but there's steel underneath. Ms. Hartwell, Sienna, look at me. She looks. For the first time, she looks uncertain. Do you know what I see when I look at you? Judge Caprio asks. I see someone who has never struggled, never gone hungry, never wondered where they would sleep, never felt the cold of a November night with no shelter, never felt worthless, never felt invisible. He picks up a paper from his desk. It says, here you graduated from Brown University. Full ride. Not because of financial need. Your father donated $2 million to the school the year you applied. You majored in communications. You got a 3.1 GPA. Average. Nothing special. But you graduated. You got your degree. Judge Caprio picks up another paper. After college, your father set you up with a trust fund. $5 million. Managed by his financial advisors. You get $50,000 a month. Every month. Just for existing. You've never had a real job. You call yourself an influencer. You post pictures of your life. Your clothes. Your trips. Your parties. And people follow you. 23 million people, you said. He sets the paper down. Now, let me tell you about Vincent Cole. Vincent joined the Marines when he was 19. Straight out of high school. He served for 12 years. He saw combat. Real combat. Not video game combat. Not movie combat. Real bullets. Real blood. Real death. He watched his friends die. He held them while they took their last breaths. He came home with medals. Bronze Star. Purple Heart. Combat Action Ribbon. Judge Caprio's voice gets quieter. He also came home with PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. It means his brain changed. The trauma changed how his mind works. He has nightmares every night. Flashbacks during the day. Loud noises make him panic. Crowds make him anxious. He can't work a normal job because his hands shake. Not from weakness. From what he sacrificed for people like you. Sienna opens her mouth. Judge Caprio raises his hand. I'm not done. She closes her mouth. Vincent tried to get help. Judge Caprio continues. The VA hospital gave him an appointment. 6 months out. 6 months. While he waited, he lost his apartment. Couldn't pay rent. No income. No disability check processed yet. He ended up on the street. Not because he's lazy. Not because he wants handouts. Because the system failed him. The country he served failed him. Judge Caprio points to the video evidence. And then you came along. With your phone. Your friends. Your need for content. You saw a human being in pain. And you saw opportunity. Not to help. Not to show kindness. But to mock. To hurt. To gain followers. He looks at the papers in front of him. After your arrest, I received 17 phone calls. 17. From politicians. From business leaders. From your father's friends. All asking me to go easy on you. To dismiss the charges. To understand that you made a youthful mistake. Judge Caprio looks up. I also receive letters. Over 200 of them. From veterans. From their families. From people who have struggled. From people who see themselves in Vincent. They all ask me for one thing. Justice. He stands up straighter. Sienna Hartwell, you asked me if I know how many followers you have. 23 million. That's impressive. Do you know how many people I answer to? Every single citizen who believes in the rule of law. Every person who trusts that in my courtroom, your last name doesn't matter. Your bank account doesn't matter. Your father's position doesn't matter. What matters is the truth. What matters is justice. Judge Caprio sits back down. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to listen. You're not going to interrupt. You're not going to argue. You're going to accept the consequences of your actions. Do you understand? Sienna nods. Her face is pale. Her hands grip the table. The court finds you guilty on all charges, Judge Caprio says. Assault and battery. Disturbing the peace. Interference with a public servant. For these crimes, you will be sentenced as follows. He picks up his pen. First, you will pay a fine of $22,500. That breaks down to $5,000 for the assault, $2,500 for disturbing the peace, $5,000 for interference, $10,000 for contempt of court based on your behavior here today. This money will be paid within 30 days. Sienna barely reacts. $22,000 is nothing to her. She spends it on a weekend shopping trip. Judge Caprio continues. Second, your driver's license is suspended for 90 days. You will not drive. You will not have someone drive you in your car. You will use public transportation. Buses. Trains. The same transportation Vincent uses every day. Sienna's eyes widen. Wait, public. I'm not finished, Judge Caprio says. His voice is sharp. Third, you will complete 300 hours of community service. But not just any community service. He leans forward. You will work at the Providence Veterans Shelter. Every Saturday and Sunday for 20 weeks. 8 hours each day. You will arrive at 6 a.m. You will leave at 2 p.m. You will serve meals. You will clean. You will listen to the stories of the veterans who live there. You will do whatever tasks the shelter director assigns you. And you will do it with respect. Sienna's mouth opens. No words come out. Furthermore, Judge Caprio continues, you will wear a bright orange vest. On the back, it will say, Community Service, Court Ordered. Everyone will know why you're there. You don't get to hide. You don't get to pretend you're volunteering from the kindness of your heart. You will own what you did. He picks up another paper. Fourth, you will issue a public apology. Not written by a lawyer. Not typed on a computer. Handwritten. In your own words. You will apologize to Vincent Cole, to the veteran community, to the city of Providence. This apology will be filmed and posted to all your social media accounts. All 23 million followers will see it. You will leave it up permanently. You will not delete it. You will not archive it. It will stay there as a record of this moment. Judge Caprio isn't done. Fifth, you will surrender your smartphone for the duration of your community service. No posts. No stories. No tweets. No TikToks. You will experience life without the need to document every moment. Without the need for likes and followers and validation. Sienna's hand goes to her phone in her pocket. Like it's a part of her body. You can't take my phone. That's my livelihood. That's how I make money. You don't make money, Judge Caprio says. You live off your trust fund. Your social media is a hobby. An expensive, destructive hobby. And for the next 5 months, that hobby is suspended. He continues. Sixth, you will attend victim impact panels. These are sessions where victims of assault share their stories. You will attend 6 sessions. You will listen. You will learn about the real consequences of violence. Not the curated, edited version you post online. The real version. Judge Caprio looks at her directly. Seventh, you are prohibited from posting any content about Vincent Cole. About this case. About your community service. About anything related to this situation except for the apology video. If you violate this, you will be held in contempt. And I will add jail time. Sienna finally finds her voice. Jail time? You can't send me to jail for posting on social media. Try me, Judge Caprio says. The 2 words hang in the air. Heavy. Final. And finally, Judge Caprio says, for your behavior in this courtroom today, for your complete lack of remorse, for your disrespect to this court and to Mr. Cole, I am finding you in contempt. Bailiff. Officer Rivera steps forward. He pulls out handcuffs. Sienna backs up. Wait. What? No. You can't. You can't arrest me. I just did, Judge Caprio says. You will spend the next 15 days in the adult correctional institutions. General population. No special treatment. No private cell. You will experience what it's like to lose your freedom. To be told when to eat. When to sleep. When to shower. To have nothing. To be nothing. Just a number. Gerald stands up. Your Honor, please. 15 days in jail is excessive for... For what? Judge Caprio asks. For kicking a disabled veteran? For mocking him online? For showing zero remorse? For attempting to use her father's influence to escape consequences? What part of that deserves leniency, counselor? Gerald has no answer. He sits down. Officer Rivera approaches Sienna. Please turn around and place your hands behind your back. Sienna looks around wildly. Dad will fix this. One phone call and you'll all be sorry. Do you know who? Your father isn't here, Judge Caprio says. You are. You alone. You did this. You face the consequences. The handcuffs click around Sienna's wrists. The sound echoes through the courtroom. She tries to pull away. Officer Rivera holds firm but gentle. He's done this 1,000 times. This is insane. Sienna's voice rises. Gets shrill. This is abuse of power. I'll sue you. I'll sue this whole court. My father will. Your father, Judge Caprio says quietly, is the governor of Rhode Island. A public servant. A man who took an oath to uphold the law. Do you really think he'll interfere with justice? Do you really think he wants the public to know he raised a daughter who thinks she's above the law? Sienna goes quiet. Because she knows. Deep down she knows. Her father has protected her before. But this is different. This is public. This is recorded. The whole city is watching. Officer Rivera starts to lead her away. Sienna's legs don't want to move. She looks back at the courtroom. At the people staring at her. At Vincent who won't meet her eyes. At the judge who just dismantled her entire world. Wait, she says. Her voice cracks. Please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You meant every word, Judge Caprio says. And now you'll learn what words cost. The door closes behind her. The courtroom is silent. Then, slowly, people start to clap. It starts with the veteran in the back. Then his wife. Then more people. Until the whole room applauds. Not loud. Not celebratory. Just satisfied. Like justice was served. Finally, Judge Caprio bangs his gavel gently. Order. This court is adjourned. He looks at Vincent. Mr. Cole, please see the clerk on your way out. The court has resources that might help you. Housing assistance. Medical care. You served your country. Let us serve you. Vincent stands. His lawyer helps him. He walks to the bench. He looks up at Judge Caprio. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Judge Caprio nods. Thank you for your service. And I'm sorry it took this long for someone to say it. The weeks pass. 15 days seem like nothing. But in jail, they feel like years. Sienna learns what it means to have no control. To sleep on a thin mattress with springs that dig into your back. To eat food that's cold and tasteless. To shower in front of strangers. To be told when to wake up. When to line up. When to be quiet. Her cellmate is a woman named Rhonda. She's 47. In for theft. She stole food from a grocery store to feed her kids. She looks at Sienna's designer clothes, taken away, and replaced with a gray uniform. She hears Sienna cry at night. First time. Rhonda asks one night. Sienna nods. She doesn't trust her voice. It gets easier, Rhonda says. You learn to survive. You learn what matters. What matters? Sienna whispers. Rhonda thinks. Not stuff. Not things. Not what people think. Just being decent. Being human. Treating people right. 'Cause you never know when you'll need someone to treat you right back. The 15 days end. Sienna walks out of jail. Her father waits in the parking lot. Governor Richard Hartwell. He's 58 years old. Gray hair. Distinguished. He built his career on being tough on crime. Fair. Just. And now his daughter is a convicted criminal. She expects him to hug her. To tell her it's okay. To say he'll fix everything. But he doesn't. He looks at her. His face is hard. Get in the car, he says. They drive in silence. Sienna looks out the window. At the city. At the people walking around. Free. Normal. Living their lives. She feels different. Changed. Not reformed. Not yet. But aware. For the first time aware. Dad, she starts. Don't. His voice is sharp. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to that veteran. Apologize to every person you've hurt with your actions. Apologize to yourself for wasting the opportunities you've been given. He pulls up to her apartment building. You're on your own with this. I won't call judges. Won't pull strings. You made choices. Adult choices. So face adult consequences. Understand. Sienna nods. She gets out of the car. He drives away. No goodbye. No I love you. Nothing. The community service starts the next Saturday. Sienna takes the bus. The public bus. She's never been on one before. It smells like cleaning products and sweat. People crowd together. A woman with 3 kids. A man in a hospital uniform, clearly exhausted from a night shift. An elderly couple holding hands. Normal people. Living normal lives. She arrives at the Providence Veterans Shelter at 5:45 a.m. 15 minutes early. The director meets her at the door. His name is Carl Rodriguez. He's 61. Vietnam veteran. Missing 2 fingers on his left hand from a grenade. He looks at Sienna. At her orange vest. At her nervous face. You the girl from the video? He asks. Sienna nods. Follow me, he says. No warmth. No hostility. Just business. He shows her the kitchen. You'll help prepare breakfast. Eggs, bacon, toast, coffee. We serve 150 men every morning. They start lining up at 6:30. Food needs to be ready. Sienna has never cooked for more than herself. And even that was usually takeout. But she nods. Okay. Carl hands her an apron. The men here? They've been through hell. Wars. Trauma. Addiction. Homelessness. They don't need your pity. They don't need your judgment. They need your respect. Can you give them that? Yes, Sienna says. Her voice is small. We'll see, Carl says. The first morning is brutal. Her feet hurt. Her back aches. The heat from the stove makes her sweat. Her perfect hair goes limp. Her nails chip. She cracks eggs. Flips bacon. Burns toast twice. Has to start over. At 6:30, the doors open. Men file in. Young and old. Black and white and brown. All veterans. All struggling. They take trays. Move through the line. Some thank her. Some don't even look at her. Some recognize her. She sees it in their eyes. But they don't say anything. They just take their food and sit down. One man stops. He's about 60. His eyes are kind but sad. You're the girl from the video, he says. Not a question. A statement. Sienna nods. Waits for him to yell. To shame her. I hope you learned something here, he says. I hope you understand what you took from Vincent. Not money. Not dignity. He already lost those. You took hope. Hope that people might see him as human. That's a hard thing to lose. He takes his tray and walks away. Sienna stands there. Her eyes burn. Not from the heat. From something else. Week after week, she returns. Saturday and Sunday. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. She serves food. Cleans tables. Mops floors. Scrubs toilets. Does laundry. Folds donated clothes. Listens to Carl's instructions. Follows every rule. And slowly, very slowly, she starts to listen to the men. Their stories. Not because she has to, but because she wants to. There's Marcus. He's 42. Served in Desert Storm. Came home with chronic pain. Got addicted to pain pills. Lost his family. Lost everything. He's been clean for 6 months. He's proud of that. He tells her about his daughter. How he's trying to get visitation rights. How hard it is to rebuild trust. There's Tom. He's 70. Vietnam vet. Agent Orange exposure. Cancer survivor. His wife died 3 years ago. He couldn't afford the house alone. Ended up here. But he smiles every day. Says he's grateful to be alive. Grateful for the shelter. Grateful for the food. Grateful for people like Carl who care. There's David. He's 35. Afghanistan. Lost his legs to an IED. That's an improvised explosive device. A bomb. He uses a wheelchair. He jokes about it. Says he's just rolling with life. But Sienna sees the pain in his eyes. The way he looks at people walking. The way he grips his wheels when he's frustrated. And there's Vincent. He comes to the shelter sometimes. Not every day. But sometimes. The first time Sienna sees him, she freezes. He's in the lunch line. She's serving mashed potatoes. Their eyes meet. She expects anger. Hatred. But he just looks tired. So tired. Hello, she says. Her voice shakes. He nods. Doesn't speak. Takes his potatoes. Moves on. It happens 3 more times over the weeks. Each time the same thing. Brief eye contact. No words. Until the 8th week. Vincent approaches the serving line. Sienna is there. Serving soup. Her hands are rough now. Her nails are broken. Her face has no makeup. Her hair is in a simple ponytail. She looks nothing like the girl in the video. The one who smiled while causing pain. Can I talk to you? Vincent asks. His voice is rough. Unused to speaking much. Sienna nods. Of course. Yes. Not here, Vincent says. After. When you're done. At 2 p.m., Sienna finishes her shift. She finds Vincent sitting outside. On a bench. The same bench where people wait for the bus. He's holding a cup of coffee. His hands still shake. Sienna sits next to him. Not too close. Respecting his space. You've been coming here for weeks, Vincent says. Every weekend. Carl says you're quiet. You work hard. You don't complain. Sienna doesn't know what to say. I'm trying, she finally manages. Vincent looks at her. Why'd you do it? That day. Why'd you kick me? Sienna could lie. Could make excuses. But something stops her. Maybe it's the jail time. Maybe it's the weeks of work. Maybe it's finally seeing Vincent as a person. Not content. Not an obstacle. A person. I didn't think, Sienna says. I didn't think you were real. Not like me. Not like someone who mattered. I saw you as a prop. Something for my video. Something to make my followers laugh. I didn't see you as human. She looks down at her hands. I was wrong. I know that now. I know saying sorry doesn't fix it. Doesn't undo it. But I am sorry. I'm so sorry. Vincent is quiet for a long time. I was a person before you saw me. I'm a person after. Your video didn't change that. But it hurt. It hurt that someone could look at me and see nothing. See trash. See something to kick. He sips his coffee. I've been kicked before. In the war. By enemies. But that made sense. They were trying to kill me. I was trying to survive. But you kicked me for fun. For likes. That hurt worse than any bomb. Sienna's throat tightens. I can't take it back. I wish I could. But I can't. No, Vincent agrees. You can't. But maybe you can do better. Be better. Maybe that's the point. They sit in silence. A bus arrives. Vincent stands. I have to go. Therapy appointment at the VA. Finally got one. That's good, Sienna says. That's really good. Vincent looks at her one more time. You're still serving next week. Every week, Sienna says. For 14 more weeks. Okay, Vincent says. He gets on the bus. The doors close. He doesn't wave. But he doesn't look angry either. Just present. Existing. The weeks continue. Sienna writes her apology. By hand. It takes her 4 days. She writes and rewrites. Trying to find the right words. Words that mean something. That aren't just empty. Finally she has it. 3 pages. Handwritten. Her messy handwriting. Not perfect. But honest. She films herself reading it. No makeup. No filters. No editing. Just her. In her apartment. Looking tired. Looking different. My name is Sienna Hartwell, she starts. 2 months ago, I assaulted a homeless veteran named Vincent Cole. I kicked him. I mocked him. I posted it online for views. For followers. For attention. I treated him like he wasn't human. Like he didn't matter. I was wrong. Completely, absolutely wrong. She continues. Reading her letter. Explaining what she's learned. The veterans she's met. The stories she's heard. The shame she carries. The hope that maybe, somehow, she can do better. I can't undo what I did, she says at the end. But I can choose differently going forward. I can see people. Really see them. I can use my platform not to hurt, but to help. I can try to be the person I should have been all along. She posts the video. To her 23 million followers. Within an hour, it has 1 million views. The comments pour in. Some supportive. Some angry. Some say it's too late. Some say everyone deserves a second chance. Some say she's only sorry because she got caught. Maybe they're all right. Maybe none of them are. Sienna doesn't know. She just knows she can't check. Can't read every comment. Can't obsess over likes and shares. Because her phone is locked in a drawer. Per court order. And honestly, she doesn't miss it as much as she thought she would. The 20 weeks end. 300 hours of community service complete. Carl signs off on her paperwork. The last Sunday, the veterans throw her a goodbye breakfast. Nothing fancy. Just eggs and bacon. But they clap when she walks in. Some shake her hand. Some tell her she did good work. Some, like Vincent, just nod. But it's enough. Carl walks her to the door. You surprised me, he admits. Thought you'd quit after the first week. Thought you'd find some way out. Some lawyer trick. But you showed up. Every week. On time. Ready to work. I owed it, Sienna says. To Vincent. To all of you. To myself. What are you going to do now? Carl asks. Sienna thinks. She's been thinking about this for weeks. I don't know exactly. But I want to help. Really help. Not just post about issues. Actually do something. Maybe work with veteran organizations. Maybe use my platform to share their stories. Stories that matter. Not just my stupid shopping trips and yacht parties. Carl nods. That would be good. We need people with reach. With influence. If you're serious. I am, Sienna says. And for the first time in her life, she means it. 3 months after her sentence ends, Sienna returns to court. It's a review hearing. Judge Caprio requested it. To see how she's doing. To make sure she completed everything. She walks into the same courtroom. Different now. The wooden benches feel different. The air feels different. She feels different. She wears simple clothes. Jeans. A plain sweater. No designer labels. No jewelry. Just her. Judge Caprio looks at her from his bench. He's read the reports. Completion of all community service hours. Positive reviews from Carl Rodriguez. Attendance at all victim impact panels. Payment of all fines. No social media violations. No new arrests. Perfect compliance. Ms. Hartwell, Judge Caprio says. How are you? I'm okay, Your Honor, Sienna says. Better than I was. I've read the reports, he says. Carl speaks highly of your work. Says you were respectful, hard-working, that you formed genuine connections with the veterans. I tried, Sienna says. They taught me more than I taught them. Judge Caprio nods. What did they teach you? Sienna thinks. That being human isn't about what you have. It's about how you treat people. That struggle doesn't make someone less. That everyone deserves dignity. That I was given so much, and I wasted it being cruel, being selfish, being blind. And now, Judge Caprio asks. Now I want to do better, Sienna says. I've partnered with 3 veteran organizations. I'm using my platform to share their stories. Real stories. Not edited. Not filtered. Just honest. I'm also donating half my trust fund income to veteran services. Housing. Medical care. Mental health support. It's not enough, but it's a start. Judge Caprio leans back. And Vincent, have you spoken to him? A few times, Sienna says. He's doing better. He got into permanent housing. A small apartment. The VA is covering it through a program. He's getting regular therapy. He says he's sleeping better, having fewer nightmares. That's good, Judge Caprio says. Did you know he wrote me a letter? Sienna looks up. He did. Judge Caprio pulls out a piece of paper. He said, and I quote, Judge Caprio, I don't know if Sienna Hartwell is changed forever, but she's changed for now. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all we can ask. That people try. That they keep trying. She's trying. I see it. And I want you to know. End quote. Sienna's eyes fill with tears. She tries to blink them away. Fails. Ms. Hartwell, Judge Caprio says gently, you came into this courtroom months ago thinking you were untouchable. That your father's name protected you. That money could solve everything. You were wrong. But you learned. And learning is painful. Growth is painful. But necessary. He sets the letter down. Your sentence is complete. Your probation is lifted. You're free to move forward with your life. But I want you to remember something. Remember Vincent. Remember the veterans at the shelter. Remember Carl. Remember what it felt like to have nothing. To be nothing. To be invisible. I will, Sienna says. I promise. Good, Judge Caprio says. Because the world doesn't need more influencers. It needs more people who care. More people who see others as human. More people who use their privilege to lift up instead of tear down. Can you be that person? I want to be, Sienna says. I'm going to try. Judge Caprio smiles. Small but real. Then this court's work is done. Good luck, Ms. Hartwell. And thank you. Thank you, Your Honor, Sienna says, for not giving up on me, even when I gave up on myself. She leaves the courtroom, steps out into the Providence sunshine, pulls out her phone. The court returned it this morning. She hasn't posted anything yet. Hasn't even opened her apps. But now she does. Opens Instagram. 23 million followers. Still there. Still waiting. She composes a post. Attaches a photo. It's her at the veterans shelter. Serving food. Her hair is messy. Her face is tired. She's not smiling for the camera. She's looking at a veteran. Listening. Really listening. The caption reads, This is Marcus. He served in Desert Storm. He's a father. A survivor. A person. For too long, I saw people like Marcus as invisible. As content. As less than. I was wrong. This is the first of many stories I want to share. Stories of real people. Real struggles. Real strength. No filters. No fakeness. Just truth. If you're here for party pics and designer hauls, feel free to unfollow. But if you want to learn with me, to grow with me, to see people as they really are, stay. Let's do this together. She posts it. Closes the app. Doesn't wait for likes. Doesn't refresh for comments. Just puts her phone away and walks. Just walks. Through the city. Past the intersection where it all happened. Where she kicked Vincent. where her old life ended and this new one began. She stops at the spot. Someone left flowers there. A small memorial. For Vincent. For all homeless veterans. She doesn't know, but she adds her own flower. A single white rose. No note. No signature. Just a symbol. Of respect. Of remembrance. Of hope. The city moves around her. People rush past. Cars honk. Life continues. As it always does. But Sienna stands still for a moment. Breathing. Existing. Being present. Being human. And for the first time in her 23 years, she feels like maybe, just maybe, she's on the right path. 6 months later, Providence Municipal Court implements new policies. Based on what happened with Sienna's case. They create a public log. Every time someone tries to influence a court case with calls or pressure, it gets documented. Published online. For everyone to see. Transparency. Accountability. They hire a community service coordinator. Someone to match offenders with meaningful service. Service that teaches. That transforms. That connects people to the communities they harmed. They expand victim services. More advocates. More resources. More support for people like Vincent. People who come to court scared and alone. Now they have help. Judge Caprio receives letters. Hundreds of them. From veterans. From families. From people who saw the video of Sienna's sentencing. It went viral. Not her original video of kicking Vincent, but the courtroom footage. Judge Caprio's speech. His sentencing. His refusal to let privilege win. The video gets 42 million views. It's used in law school classes. In discussions about justice. About privilege. About the role of judges in society. Judge Caprio doesn't care about the views. But he cares about the message. That justice is blind. That everyone is equal in his courtroom. That money and name and status mean nothing when you've hurt someone. Vincent appears on a local news segment. Talking about his experience. About homelessness. About PTSD. About the importance of veteran services. He's nervous on camera. His hands shake. But his voice is strong. He tells his story. Not Sienna's story. His story. His service. His struggle. His survival. After the segment airs, donations pour into veteran organizations. Thousands of dollars. Housing programs expand. Mental health services increase. People who never thought about homeless veterans before start to think. Start to care. Start to help. And Sienna keeps her promise. She shares stories every week. Veterans. Homeless individuals. Struggling families. People who need to be seen. To be heard. To be valued. Her follower count drops at first. From 23 million to 18 million. But then it starts to grow again. Different followers. People who care about substance over style. About message over aesthetic. She starts a foundation. The Vincent Cole Foundation. For homeless veterans. Vincent didn't want his name on it. Said it felt wrong. But Sienna insisted. Said it was important. That his name meant something. That his story mattered. The foundation raises money. Builds housing. Provides job training. Offers mental health support. Everything Vincent needed but couldn't access. Everything that might have prevented his homelessness in the first place. Vincent attends the foundation's first fundraiser. Sienna invites him. He almost doesn't come. Doesn't like crowds. Doesn't like attention. But Carl convinces him. Says it's important. That people need to see him. Not as a victim. As a survivor. As proof that things can get better. Vincent speaks at the event. Just for 5 minutes. Tells his story. Thanks the people who helped him. Thanks Judge Caprio. Thanks Carl. Thanks the shelter. And then quietly, he thanks Sienna. Not for what she did, but for what she became after. For learning. For changing. For trying. The room stands and applauds. Vincent stands there. Uncomfortable with the attention. But accepting it. Because maybe, just maybe, his pain can prevent someone else's. Maybe his story can save someone. And that makes it worth telling. Judge Caprio sits in his chambers late one evening. The courthouse is empty. Quiet. He reviews case files. Plans for tomorrow. Does what he's done for decades. His job. His calling. His purpose. He thinks about Sienna. About Vincent. About how one moment changed multiple lives. How justice isn't just about punishment. It's about transformation. About teaching. About hoping that people can become better than they were. He thinks about the letters on his desk. From veterans thanking him. From families praising him. From citizens who believe in the system again because of what he did. He doesn't do this job for praise. But it's nice to know it matters. That people care. That justice still means something. He writes a note in Sienna's case file. Just a few words. For the record. For history. For whoever might review this case years from now. People can change. Not all do. But some do. When they face real consequences. When they see real impact. When they understand that privilege is not protection. This defendant changed. May we all have the courage to change when we're wrong. He closes the file. Turns off his desk lamp. Walks to his car. Drives home to his family. Another day done. Another life touched. Another chance at justice taken. And somewhere in Providence, Vincent Cole lies in his apartment. His own apartment. Not a shelter. Not a street corner. A home. Small but his. He looks at the ceiling. Waits for sleep. The nightmares are less frequent now. The therapy helps. The stability helps. The hope helps. He thinks about the girl who kicked him. Who hurt him. Who changed. He doesn't forgive easily. Forgiveness is hard when you've been hurt as much as he has. But he accepts. Accepts that people are complicated. That mistakes don't define us forever. That growth is possible. He closes his eyes. And for the first time in years, he doesn't see explosions. Doesn't hear screams. Just sees tomorrow. Another day. Another chance. Another moment of peace. And maybe that's what justice really is. Not revenge. Not punishment alone. But the possibility of peace. For everyone involved. For the victim who was hurt. For the offender who learns. For the community that heals. Money can buy many things. Big houses. Expensive clothes. Designer bags. Fast cars. Private planes. All the stuff that makes life comfortable. Easy. Soft. But money cannot buy back time. Cannot reverse actions. Cannot erase pain. Cannot purchase respect. Cannot force forgiveness. Cannot guarantee change. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, in the Providence Municipal Court, in the state of Rhode Island, money definitely cannot buy justice. Because justice isn't for sale. It's earned. By being human. By treating others right. By facing consequences. By learning from mistakes. By becoming better than you were. That's the lesson Sienna Hartwell learned. The hard way. The painful way. But maybe the only way that sticks. And that's the lesson we all need to remember. No matter who we are. No matter what we have. No matter who our parents are, or how much money we make, or how many followers we have. We are all equal under the law. We are all accountable for our actions. We are all capable of change. And we are all, every single one of us, human.